Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We are obviously talking Lions here on Will Upton Lions. We're actually going to pinpoint, do a little film study on Amik Robertson. Now, I know, first off, I know he got burned, Jamar Chase touchdown, and that makes his statistics look bad. But outside of that one play, and we will get into it a little bit later on in the video, Amik Robertson had a really, really good, solid football game here. Now, the bad news is Terrion Arnold, apparently he's going to be out for a long time. And I apologize, this angle here, I guess I didn't really notice it at the time. I mean, you can barely even see my highlighter. You can barely see Terrion Arnold out here outside. We got Amik Robertson in the nickel. Now, as far as Terrion Arnold's injury goes, we're just going to wait until we have, because like I said, the Lions coaching staff was like, he's going to be out a long time. We'll wait, as the week progresses, and we'll talk about it over on this channel. But the good news is Amik Robertson is very good at football, in my opinion. And it actually looks like, I don't believe he got credited for a pass breakup here. And I know we're zoomed out very far away, but you see the football is literally right here. This is Terrion Arnold. He comes in for cleanup. And even just going a little bit back, Jake Browning's looking left this entire time. So Amik Robertson's reading his eyes. You see Terrion Arnold reading his eyes. He's licking his chops here to come on in. And right here, the ball is actually in Yosavash's hands. And it looks like Amik breaks this ball before Terrion Arnold hits his back. Maybe it's a combination of everything, but it really looks, when I look back at the film on this, it looks like Amik Robertson actually gets his hand up in here in Andre Yosavash's catch. But yeah, man, the Terrion Arnold injury absolutely sucks, because obviously DJ Reed is done for this season as well. And if it wasn't for that, everyone, right now Amik's cornerback #1, so they're going to have to rely on him whether they like it or not. I would anticipate Detroit to look into some trades here because the two IRs and Ennis Rakestraw. But without further ado, let's not get too doomy. Let's get into it. So we talked about this on the main channel yesterday. I've covered the Raiders for a couple of seasons now, like 3 or 4 years, and Amik Robertson was somebody that every single fan was upset that he did not get paid. And this is his first interception as a Detroit Lion, and obviously, as we alluded to earlier on in the video, Jamar Chase does end up getting his, and Amik Robertson took full responsibility and said, we got a little bit bad on the back end towards the end of the football game, and that is on me, and that is stuff I can clean up. But we'll get to that in a clip or two. One-on-one right here with Jamar Chase. Now, in my opinion, this is on Jake Browning. Once again, the angles from this football game aren't the best with the sun. You have to throw this football somewhere over here. You've got to use the sideline to your advantage. You cannot throw this ball where he ends up throwing it. And Amik ends up getting in on the shoulder of Jamar and just snags this from him. And maybe this end zone angle, I doubt it, but maybe it'll show us a little bit of a better angle. Jake Browning does not make a good throw here, and we get a perfect angle. So we got Amik, as we were saying, and as everybody kind of knows, this ball's got to be over here. I mean, you can't leave this ball where Jake Browning throws it. But hey, if you're going to make a mistake and you're going to throw this ball where a defensive back can get it, why not go up and get it? You need guys who can make plays, and that's exactly what Amik Robertson does. He times it perfectly. He's aggressive. He cuts inward and just snags this football, and there's nothing Jamar Chase can do except try and bat this ball down, but he is not able to, and it is interception Detroit's way. Now, as far as him being a capable cornerback one, I do think he can do it, especially when you have Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch on the backside. But yeah, I've said it 3 times already in this video. We'll talk about a possible replacement once we get the diagnosis on Terrion. All right, end of the second quarter here. It is 3rd and 4, and he actually does give up a catch here. I mean, every defense back, everybody's going to give up catches and receptions, especially on Jamar Chase or even T. Higgins. Any of these Bengals wide receivers, you're going to give up some catches. We got one-on-one right here. He's faded back like 10 or so yards from Jamar. And what I like is just his quick reactiveness here. And Derek Barnes, the middle linebacker, he actually almost gets his hand on this. But Chase obviously slants. And right here, you see, right, we got Amik Robertson's hips. They're pointed this way. All right, Jamara is making his cut right now, and Amik is going to react immediately, moves his hips, the ball is coming out, and he gets downhill. Like I said, Derek Barnes almost ends up getting his hands on this football, and this is just, this is only a 7-yard gain. All right, it does pick up a first down, which is unfortunate, I guess, but you're going up against one-on-one and one of the best wide receivers in the National Football League, and you don't want any yak. Jamar Chase can beat you over the top. He can beat you with some jukes. Once again, we're going to show it for the third time. We're going to show you the Jamar Chase, Amik Robertson touchdown. But I just like this. Ball's thrown. It's actually a nice ball by Jake Browning, but I like Amik's reactiveness here. All right, I do think he has the traits and just the experience to step up now that he has to step up. All right, going to the fourth quarter here, we have Amik down here, and he's going to get just a nice tackle. And I was just talking about this over on the main channel. You want guys who can tackle. There's way too many broken tackles in the National Football League, whether it's edge players, whether it's linebackers, whether it's defensive backs, safeties, you name it. There's way too many missed tackles in the National Football League these days. And we got Amik right here in zone, and Derek Barnes coming over the top. We got our safeties back here, Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch. But right here, Jake Browning, once again, he's looking left this whole side, and you can see barely. Amik Robertson is definitely looking in his vicinity, trying to read these eyes, and I think that's Al-Qadim Muhammad who's going to get a nice quarterback hit on Jake Browning. And I do think our next video is either going to be an Al-Qadim Muhammad film study, or maybe I was thinking about getting a little bit into the trenches with Roy Lopez. Let me know if you guys want a specific film study down below. I'd be more than happy to do it as the week progresses. But right here, we look at the leverage. He's already reacting. Ball's thrown, barely gets it past Kadeen. He's going downhill. Chase Brown catches it. He wraps him up. Gets a little bit of help from, I believe, Rocky Sin here. Also a former Raider, who they're going to have to rely and lean on for at least the foreseeable future. But just wraps it up. This is a gain of like 4 yards, 2nd and 18. Game's kind of out of hand here. It's 28-18, 11 minutes left in the football game. But love these defensive backs who can tackle, read, react, and be physical. Boom. All right, we are unfortunately now looking at the interception. We're like, actually, this might be the next play after that tackle from Amik on Chase Brown. This gets it close. I mean, the game's out of hand here, but it definitely does get it close. This is a like 65-yarder for Jamar Chase and Jake Browning to get back to 28-17 with about 10 minutes to play here. 3rd and 14. Amik up here, he's going to make a mistake, and he knew he makes this mistake. Right here, Jamar Chase cuts inward. And even the announcers, I believe the announcers were even pressing in on this. Like, you're going up against Jamar Chase. You've got a safety here. You've got 2 deep safeties playing. Is Jamar Chase going to beat you in the middle, or is he going to beat you over the top? The answer is over the top, and he runs a really good route. It's why he's either the best in the business or one of the best in the business. Browning actually puts a beautiful throw on this, and the rest is history. But Amik gets caught up. He over leverages too much on the inside. He loses his footing. Jamar's about to hit his stride, and it's real quick. And like I said, this is fixable stuff. He knows it. This is stuff you got to be just smarter at. You got a safety already right here. You got a safety deep. I know he's not looking at, where's Kirby Joseph on the other side of the hash? Where is he? But you don't want to be beat over the top. You want him to go inwards where the rest of your defensive players are. And mistakes are going to happen. And obviously, if this was, different circumstances in the football game, it's unexcusable. But mistakes do happen, and you do want it to happen early on in the season. And at the end of the day, the Detroit Lions are 4-1 now. And this play here, Amik still had a really high coverage grade per PFF at least. And I thought Amik played a really nice football game. And even with this, I think he gave up like 80-something reception yards. It was like 5 catches for 85 yards, something like that. This pretty much is all of it because it's a 65-yarder to Jamar Chase. I figured I would show you this other touchdown he gave up because, like I said, he technically did give up. Amik gave up 2 touchdowns in this football game, but still was graded very highly. Now, you can barely see down here. This is Jamar Chase, and this is Brian Branch. And like I said, I know you can barely see it. I would like up here more of this. All right, this is too much space, in my opinion, in a one-on-one against T. Higgins. Now, the Bengals run this route all the damn time. It's just a simple, quick out to the sideline to T. Higgins. They do this. Jamar and T do this so perfectly. You could say they do it to a T. T does this to a T. And that's why I would like a little bit more pressing. Now, keep in mind, this is just a smart call here. You've got 3 wide receivers over here. So we've got all of these Lions defenders, linebackers even. I think that's Anzalone. No, it looks like Campbell actually. Yeah, this would be Anzalone. Safeties over here. Like, there's just so much of an emphasis on this side of the football field. So I get it. You want to be maybe a little bit back because more likely than not, you've got a slanter coming your way. So you want to be able to react to this. But I do think if Amik is a little bit closer here, maybe gets a little bit handsy before the end zone, this doesn't happen. Now, like I said, the Bengals, whether it's Jake Browning or Joe Burrow, they do this so much, and they do it so well. They just do. But you see what I mean? There's just a little bit too much space. At this point, if you're Amik, you probably know it's coming, so you want to try and jump this, but they just get this done a little bit too quickly. The ball's already out, and it's actually thrown in a pretty much perfect spot from Jake Browning, where even if Amik does jump on that route quickly, you're still right towards the end zone and you've got that to work with. So this isn't that big of a deal to me. It's T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, and they just run this play literally all the damn time. So it's unfortunate at this point. Game's already won for Detroit. 3 minutes left in the game. This touchdown makes it technically a 2-possessioner, but there's only 3 minutes left. So there's definitely some stuff to work on. But at the end of the day, I thought Amik did a really good job playing, especially once Terrion Arnold went down, which just absolutely sucks. So I hate to keep putting a damper on the mood here for this video, but it really does freaking suck. So thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button, hit that sub button for a couple of Lions videos a week. If you guys have a recommendation for a film study, let me know down below. Otherwise, we'll probably do El-Kani Muhammad and or Roy Lopez in the next video or so. So, yeah, thank you for watching. Let me know your thoughts on the whole Amik Robertson situation with Terrion Arnold, DJ Reed. Love reading them, and have a great rest of your night. We'll see you soon. Peace.